Yesterday, Florida's authoritarian Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law the legislation that officially, effective immediately by the way, gives him his election police force, which honestly is very bad news for Republicans here in the state of Florida, as we have caught many Republicans since the 2020 election that have committed voter fraud, that have changed people's voter registrations from Democrat to Republican. So Republicans ought to actually be shaking in your boots, because this is one that is definitely going to backfire on our idiot little governor. But here's the thing, while everybody has been focused reporting on the election police here in Florida, because obviously, yeah, that's a big deal, and it is terrifying, you know, he's got his own little gustapo at this point, I beg you all to read the rest of the law, because that's not even the worst part of it. Let me read you the worst parts of this legislation that have been overshadowed because of the election police that Ron DeSantis has given himself. This is Senate Bill 524. Establishes the 25-person Office of Election Crimes and Security under the Secretary of State's office to look into voting irregularities or illegalities. It bans ranked choice voting statewide, including in cities and counties. In a ranked choice voting system, voters rank candidates by preference on their ballots rather than selecting just one. So he's limiting our choices here. He's making it damn near impossible for a third-party candidate to win an election here in the state of Florida. And I'm sorry, but that is a big deal. Limiting our democratic choices here in the state, yeah, that's a little bit worse than his little election police that are going to have to start arresting Republicans very soon. Makes a series of tweaks to election procedures and stiffens criminal penalties for certain activities such as ballot harvesting. That is the practice of one person or organization collecting a number of completed mail ballots from other people and delivering them to an elections office or drop box. So if you in the state of Florida go around and collect ballots that people have filled out, mail-in ballots, and say, hey, I'll mail these for you, guess what? You could now possibly go to jail. By the way, the so-called ballot harvesting is a massive part of get out the vote efforts, right? You get your mail-in ballot, hell, you don't even have to worry about sending it back. Our organization, which by the way, these organizations are trustworthy, they're gonna come collect it and take it in for you. It's that simple. We're trying to make the process of voting easier, and now DeSantis wants to make it not only harder, but make those practices illegal so we can put people in jail so that fewer people get to vote, because we all know who benefits, when fewer people vote. Last one. It requires election supervisors to clean up voter rolls annually rather than every other year. Cleaning up the voter rolls entails removing deceased persons from the roll, checking the status of inactive voters or voters whose addresses may have changed. Yeah, because that's not opening itself up for corruption at all, is it? Oh, this person's inactive. Should we go to their home, knock on their door, make sure they're still there, make sure they're still alive? Or should we just remove them and send them a letter and say, you've been removed, please respond if you want to be put back on? This is a way to conduct voter purges and then blame it on the individual that got purged. And of course, as we've seen here in the state of Florida many times throughout many elections, oh, John Smith, well, hey, isn't there a John Smith that's in jail? That means John Smith can't vote. Forget for a moment there could be two people named John Smith. If your name matches that of somebody who is currently serving a prison sentence, you're gone. It actually played a big role, by the way, in the 2000 election down here in the state of Florida. So there it is. Those things I just read to you, those are worse than the election police force. Yes, the election police force is horrible, but let's not forget, I'm pretty sure all of the instances of voter fraud that we have seen from the 2020 election here in the state of Florida, pretty sure they are all Republicans. So DeSantis is going to have to send out his little, brown shirts to go arrest a bunch of Republicans. He didn't think that one through, did he? I hope it backfires on them, but in the meantime, they don't even have to really worry if it does, because this legislation has done such a good job of suppressing the vote that none of this may even matter. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.